Imposter syndrome is a common recurring problem, not only in the software development space, but generally in the tech space. In this video, learn how to resolve these feelings. We are constantly presented with new problems to solve in the workplace, in situations and environments, and with tools that are continually changing. This is especially true in the tech and software development space. It always feels like the person next to you in the team seems to know more, knows what to learn at the right time, and knows how to understand it before you do, and this is always very uncomfortable. Then there's the constant self-doubt that you lack the training, and there's doubt about your experience and your earned right to do the job at hand. If it's not about experience, it's about having the right qualifications, the right academic degree. Then there's also the baseless yet haunting doubt about not having an academic degree or qualification. Some of the most intelligent people I've worked with in software development in my early days never had a degree. It's how you perform today and tomorrow that matters, not a piece of paper from the past that had a different purpose and a different place in time. Day to day with the imposter syndrome, moving from project to project, you feel like you're constantly facing tasks that are testing your skill set, and every day feels like you're just about learning enough to keep your head above water and not get caught out. The skill you are lacking might be a specific programming language or programming concept, an infrastructure component you struggle to configure, a task related to your day-to-day working methodology, or even soft skills required to work in a team environment. There's always something you seem to fall behind on and not catch up compared to others around you. The good news is that this is a widespread feeling, especially in the tech space, where we constantly solve new problems with tools, situations, and people that are constantly changing. As someone who has been in the software development space for over 20 years, working with both senior executives and mentoring junior engineers, I can tell you that everyone feels the same. Imposter syndrome is prevalent across individuals, teams, departments, and roles. Therefore, the first part of the solution, the first step in your coping strategy, is acceptance. Everyone around you also has the same paranoia about something they feel like they should already know. As part of your acceptance strategy, you also need to accept that you are not always expected to know everything. It's okay to sometimes fall behind in some areas while making ground in others, and you also need to communicate this to the people around you. This acceptance is part of your strategy to resolve imposter syndrome, which starts with the individual and then spreads across the team, your peers and colleagues. Acceptance will make not knowing something or not knowing something in detail a regular part of the work, and instead of making people feel inadequate, it will lift and free people when they know it's just another work norm that has to be resolved as part of the work. Your life is a balance of work, friends, family, self-care, and having fun. Work and money are obviously important, but you need to be strategic about what you need to know right now for your job so you have more time for friends and family, taking care of yourself, and having fun. Acceptance teaches everyone that the learning instead has to be part of the job. Therefore, it's okay if something catches you out, or you find a person sitting next to you, or someone in your team already knows how to do it. Find time as part of the project to learn the new skill. Discuss it with your team during planning and assign people to each project aspect based on their strengths. If necessary, allocate time during the project to allow individuals to acquire new skills they may be lacking. Therefore, acceptance is not just for you, it's for the whole team, so that you do not suffer in silence. Most importantly, acceptance involves taking action within the project to allocate time for learning. The next part of your strategy to resolve imposter syndrome is to have confidence in your learning approach. As part of acceptance, we acknowledge that we need to set aside time to learn, but you must also have confidence in your learning strategy. Basically, learn how to learn quickly, so if you are faced with something unexpected, you know that within days you will become competent. However, a learning strategy will be very personal to you, and you will have to experiment as part of it to work out the fastest way for you to learn. Once you have established your general learning strategy, coupled with the understanding that you or anyone else doesn't know everything, you will gain immense confidence and inner peace. So what is a learning strategy? A learning strategy is your personal approach to quickly acquiring knowledge and becoming competent in a particular area. For example, when you face a new concept or technology that you know nothing about, you need to learn quickly. If you are a quick reader, you may read articles and books while listening to your favorite music. One way to cement this learning in your memory is to make summary notes on what you are reading or doodle a mind map about what you are learning. Both force you to process and better store the knowledge you're learning. If you prefer not to read, consider getting the audiobook or using an app that reads the book aloud. Both are options you can experiment with as part of your learning strategy if reading is hard work or you need to supplement the read with even more speed. If you don't have obvious time for this type of learning, it might be that you read or listen to an audiobook while doing something else, such as listening to an audiobook in the car on your daily commute. Reading your book or listening to your audiobook whilst commuting on public transport is also an option. Listening to an audiobook while doing a hobby or working out is also a good way to supplement your learning. And if you're someone who needs visual and audio stimulation to learn, you should watch a video training course. As you are watching this video, you already have a head start in this area, and it's very much part of your learning strategy moving forward. Keep working on learning how you learn fast. Experiment with different options at different times and in various situations. Write this strategy down and rewrite it as you know what works better in other situations. And again, when coupled with your acceptance strategy, you will feel liberated. You become comfortable knowing that you might not know, but you know you can learn quickly by using work time and techniques that help you understand, and by choosing learning methods you enjoy. To reinforce this inner confidence and calm, another strategy that worked well with my mentees in the software development space is a simple checklist developed using your job description. Remember, you were employed solely for one thing in your job, to carry out the duties and responsibilities listed in your job description. Keep this list at hand, and when you find yourself carrying out one of these tasks, just put a tick against the item listed. Once you have the list fully complete, in other words, fully ticked with at least 1 or 2 ticks each, you know you are fully qualified, have every right to be where you are, and are not an imposter. I remember sitting down with a software developer once in a mentoring session, and one of the recurring themes was, "I'm not qualified for this job." We printed his job description and sat there thinking of examples of when he carried out specific parts of his job. We found that he had multiple examples for each item at the end. We also found that while working on projects and concepts, he was helping out in areas that weren't even in his job description. Our conclusion of the mentoring session was that you are actually over-delivering and over-qualified. You should walk around with your head held high because you consistently go above and beyond every day. Carrying that job description with him every day and placing extra ticks in new situations did wonders for resolving his imposter syndrome. The fourth part of the strategy to rid your imposter syndrome is to use everything we have learnt so far as a daily mantra. As part of the acceptance strategy, remember that you and everyone else can't know everything every time, and that learning is part of the job, therefore allocate project time to it. As part of your learning strategy, experiment with different techniques that help you learn, that is, skill up, most efficiently. Keep learning to learn quickly through experimentation. One of the final nails in the coffin for imposter syndrome is to be aware of your daily performance and expectations. There's nothing simpler and more effective than carrying your job description around, ticking off roles and responsibilities, and as part of this, celebrating each success. To make this daily mantra easy to do as part of this fourth step, I've turned this section into a cheat sheet you can print and recite daily to keep the baseless imposter syndrome at bay. This has been Rag Diamond, and thanks for watching this video. I hope the suggested techniques help resolve any feelings of impostership you may be experiencing. Our workplaces are dynamic places with complex problems, which can make imposter syndrome a common experience. Please remember to like and subscribe. Your support will be greatly appreciated.